Hello and welcome, whether you're watching us live or you're watching us later on in the evening or even further down the road. My name is Jaymie, if you don't already know, and I work here at Happy Fabric, where we specialise in heat transfers, heat presses, and heat transfer vinyl, everything heat printing. So today's live stream is all about custom heat transfers. So we launched this product last year and they are incredible. Lots of you asking questions about what they are, how they work, whether to use heat transfers or heat transfer vinyl in your projects. They are incredible. So what I'm going to start with today is how do heat transfers work? What actually are they? So here is an example of a heat transfer and what it looks like. This is one of my cat. His name is Mikey, and I've popped him on a sheet and made him into a heat transfer. So this will apply very similarly to heat transfer vinyl in the way that you pop it on your t-shirt or whatever garment you're making, and then you press down for 12 seconds at 145 degrees. So they can be applied like HTV using your iron or using a heat press. Although we always recommend, if you're running a small business or you're selling your projects, you should definitely invest in a heat press just to make sure you've got that accurate temperature, time and pressure as well. So that will make sure that the heat transfer outlasts the garment. So, as I said, they can be applied using a heat press or an iron. So if you've got something like a Cricut mini press or something like that, that would work absolutely perfectly. You want it on the 2-dot setting with no steam. So that's what heat transfer is. Most of today's live, I'll be talking about our 55 by 55 Ultra Color Max transfers. And when they come in the post, they look like this. It is a massive sheet and there's lots that you can do with it. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to go to the happyfabrictransfers.co.uk website. And then we're going to look at ordering some transfers together. So on your transfer sheet, you can turn drawings into transfers. So that could be digital artwork. That could be your children's drawings, like with pen. You can take a picture of that and upload it to the site. You could just do text if you wanted to. For example, I've got here lots of names. You can fit hundreds of these on one sheet. You don't need to weed this as well, and that is one of the absolute benefits over using a heat transfer rather than HTV, because look at that fine detail. All you'd need to do is cut around it roughly and then press it. This is the carrier sheet, so this won't actually apply to your garment. So this is an absolute time saver for things like that. So let's go to the Happy Fabric transfer site, which looks a little bit like this. So this is the lovely Kate that you're seeing on the screen now. She actually helped us launch our transfers last year, and what you're seeing here is her original artwork, and then again some pictures of my cat Mike. So that's how big a 55 by 55 sheet is. For some context of what we're doing today, you can fit lots on there, even more than you see in this picture. So what we want to do to get started is press get started, and then we've got some options here to choose a size and a type of transfer. So if you look at the names of these products, you'll see that these are ultra color heat transfers in a range of sizes. And then down here, you've got the ultra color max. So there's a couple of small differences between these product types. And the main, I would say, are that the ultra color max, you can peel the carrier off while it's hot. So if you're making a lot of projects and you want that time, like the speed, then Ultra Color Max might be the best for you. And you can, between both of them, so the Ultra Color and the Ultra Color Max, they still will both outlast the garment. So there's no change in quality between the two products. Also, there's price breaks. So if I go into this 6x6 here and go on to the product. So you'll see here that the minimum quantity is 10. So if you're making a lot of products, for example, you're running a small business, it might be a really good idea to go for one of the products that have a minimum order quantity. For example, if you're like this product, if you're making lots of hats or lots of the same product, it might be easier for you to order 10 of these in the same design for a lower price rather than a big sheet of lots of different designs. But you can always get in touch with us as well should you want to discuss what product might be best for you and what you're looking to do. I would say the most popular product, if we go back to selecting a product, is this one here, which we'll be looking at today, and that is the Ultra Colour Max 55 by 55 sheet, because you can get lots of stuff on it and it's always the same price. So if I start here, this is how you'll upload your artwork and designs. You can put anything on here, including photos. I'll show you how to do each bit of this. So if we click Add Design, what we've got here, we've got a stock library. So all of these designs have been uploaded by us and you can use them onto your sheet. It's absolutely fine. So we've got lots of different things. You've got Christmas, you've got some pride designs there, you've got slogans. Now, if you add these to your design, there will be a small charge. So this one's 10 pence per use. But if you're not into making your own artwork, or if there's something on there you particularly love, then it's definitely worth using those. They're all high quality files as well. So if you look to the left here, there is a quality checking bar. So as long as that's green, then your design will come out absolutely perfect. It won't be blurry. This is a really useful tool because there's nothing worse than ordering something and it comes out blurry because you've overstretched it. So as I just demonstrated, you can also make it smaller and you can make it bigger as well. And then it will also give you a warning as well. So if you're putting a lot of different designs on your sheet, this is really useful as well. It says you've placed the image partially outside of the decoration area and it will be cropped. So definitely look out on that left bar for any warnings, whether that's the quality checker or you've overlapped something outside of the print space. So you'll notice here as well that you've got the size of how big it's going to come out. So that's really, really important as well, because you have to remember this is a 55 by 55 sheet, which is massive. You don't realise the first time I ordered a sheet, I didn't pay much attention to this. They all looked fairly small, and then I ended up with giant pictures of my cat's face. So definitely take notice, especially if it's a specific garment or project that you've got in mind, because it's deceivingly big. So we've got that one there. And as you see, I've got the quantity at 10, which is why it's coming up at this really high price, but we only want one. And this price here, so if I get rid of this stock design, there it is, there's the button. So if I get rid of that stock design, it's gone back to 0. And then once I start adding designs, the price will go up to about £34 and it won't move no matter how many colours, designs, text, whatever I put on there will stay at the same price if it's my own designs. So I'll start now by uploading my own images. So if I upload the Happy Fabric logo, for example, so what will happen here, this is really important that you read through this. So this is just to let us know that this is your image and you are allowed to print it. You own the image, just to make sure that you're not ripping off another business or breaking any copyright rules. So read through this and then you tick this box here to say that, yes, I own the rights to print this image. Click OK. So here is my logo. So something fun that you can do with this, and I definitely recommend it if you're using these to brand for your small business, or maybe you're doing a hen party, something where you've got lots of different designs. You can click here, and then you've got a copy button, and then paste. So you get them exactly the same size. You don't have to go and upload them again. And then you can just keep on repeating them. What you could also do is if you were doing, for example, maybe some hoodies with your logo, and then you also wanted to do, I don't know, some socks or some shoes, or even some children's t-shirts, you can make them smaller and you can put as many of these on the page as you want. You could do a whole 55 by 55 sheet. I've done it before with just your logo on it. You can also, to make the most of your space, you can make another one and then you can turn them round so that you fit as much on there as possible. Really do get your money's worth. You can fit hundreds on a sheet. It is incredible how much you can fit on here. So what I'm going to do as well is, I really recommend you do this as well. I'm going to log in. So if you don't have a login, you can make an account. It's really simple. I'm going to log in. And this is because, like I said, if you want to put lots of designs on a sheet, you might lose internet connection, or you might come away from the site and decide you want to work on it again tomorrow. This just means all of your uploads will be already saved in there. So you don't have to re-upload everything every time. Really good for businesses as well, because if you've got a product range like our lovely ambassador Kate, who's made an entire summer range using just transfers, then you don't want to have to go in and re-upload your images every time you get an order. So this is my cat's face, as you can see, from when we made that lovely sheet on the homepage, and there's the logo again. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to show you how you can upload a photo. And what photos have I got? So here's one of my dog. As you can see, I'm an animal mad animal mum, and I'm going to upload that. And then it's going to come up with that same agree. And yes, it's my photo, so I'll agree with that. So I could keep it like this, and this is quite a good quality photo. So as you can see, it will blow all the way up and the quality is fine, which is quite surprising because it's only an iPhone image. So I made that smaller. But what you might not want, so it might be the case that you want the whole photograph on kind of like a square, which is fine, but I don't actually want the background on this photograph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Canva. There's lots of tools you can use for this. You could also use, here we go, this is Canva. You can also use, I think some people use Ibis Paint. There's lots of different things that you can use. But then I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to upload my picture of Coco and pop her on there. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to use this background remover tool here. So this is a paid account for Canva. But as I said, there's lots of tools that will do this for you online, including Ibis Paint 2, which Sam used in her project the other day. So I'm going to click remove background, and there she is. Look how lovely she looks. That's worked really nicely. And then I'm going to save this down. I use Canva quite a lot for heat transfers because I'm not very gifted in digital drawing. So I often edit some of their templates and use those to make my heat transfers. So you don't have to be digitally gifted at all. If you want to draw on paper as well, I'll show you how to get your drawings into being heat transfers. So there she is, looking lovely. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download it with a transparent background. And to try and get her as high quality as possible, I'm going to make the size as big as I can. And then I'm going to download her. And once that's finished downloading, there it goes. That was really quick. I'm going to go back to our original tab here. And then I'm going to add her in here. So there she is. Lovely. Here she comes. I'm going to end up having a whole nother sheet of my animals, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing quite like putting your cat's face on a t-shirt. So here it goes, processing. And again, it should come up with the check that this is our original artwork. While I'm waiting for that to load, I'm going to go back to my other tab. I'm going to add a new page. So as I said earlier, you can also put drawings in here. So this is a drawing, and one of our ambassadors, Sam, did a really lovely memory quilt for her eldest daughter, where she took all of the artwork that she did at school over the years, and she used a photocopier to scan in the artwork. And then she used Ibis Paint to cut round some of them, but some of them she just left as normal paper, and then put them onto heat transfers and applied them to a quilt. So that was really fun. So these are some flowers that I drew earlier, and I don't really want the background, even though it's like quite plain and white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the background for them as well. Make them nice and big. And then I'll save those down to use. Okay, and now I'm going to go back. Brilliant. And there she is. Look how high quality she is. I can't believe it. She is huge. If I printed her, she would be pretty much life size. So that's a little photo there for you. So I'm going to go back into the upload tool. Oh, just realised we're not on the right product, are we? Let's change that over. Okay, perfect. So that is a more realistic size. So here we go. That makes more sense. It is only an iPhone photo. So as you can see, the quality checker, this is a little bit too big. Well, that's still pretty sizable. So that's about 10 centimeters by 17 centimeters. So that's quite big still. And there she is cut out. Oh, so she does go quite big still. There we go. So it is telling me that I'm placing her over the edge, which is not the case because I can see it visually here. It's still always worth checking when it gives you that notification. So I'm going to add another design now. I'm going to upload my flowers. I've got lots of flowers in my downloads. I'm going to upload this. So this is, again, a drawing. I just took a picture of it. I chose to remove the background, but you don't have to. And then I've popped that in there. So you could have photos, drawings, digital artwork files. You can upload JPEGs, PNGs, lots of different file types. There's an extensive list on the heat transfer website, but you can always get in touch if you're not sure about your file type or file size. So this is really good quality. Look how big that is. So again, resize that. And then you've also got some buttons here. So if your mouse is a bit fiddly, you can always use these as well to move them up and down the page. I've got the effects tab here where you can add borders and different effects. And then, so if I put that up there. So another really good tool as well is you can add text. So you don't have to go into something like Photoshop, Canva, or anything else to get your text. You can just add it here. So if I just put my name. There we go. It's such an easy tool as well. You can change the font here. So you can choose, that's really cute. And then again, you can make it bigger, smaller, change the color of it. You can get really accurate color here. What you could do as well, you could even layer it. So if I copy and paste that, I change the color, you can get really nice shadow effects. So if you were doing this with HTV, for example, you'd have to cut both, weed both, and then apply both. But this will print as one transfer. So no need to do any of that fiddly stuff. So we can put that there. That's quite fun. And then we've also got, notice as well, the price has not changed. So it's still at $34.80. So I can fill this whole sheet. I can have literally hundreds of different designs and the price will not change. I can have as many colors as I want as well. For example, with the photos, which is such a game changer if you're like wanting something for a hen party or a stag do or a birthday, anything like that. One sheet is literally perfect. So again, like this is an example of some text that I used on a heat transfer sheet, and I had hundreds across the bottom of this heat transfer sheet, and they're so useful for little like wedding favors, or even if you wanted to make a whole class at school like their own jumper with their name on it. You'd only need one sheet of transfers, so that's pretty cool. And again, Kate, one of our ambassadors, she created a whole product range just using one sheet of heat transfers. So they're pretty impressive. So once you've added everything to your sheet, so like I said, these are things I've uploaded before, and I can just pop them straight back in because I'm already logged into the transfer site. There we go. Look at that. A whole sheet of my animals. Let's add some more in. So these are got Kate's designs that she made using Procreate. So again, digital artwork. So it doesn't really like matter what kind of stage of artistry you are. So I'm not very good at digital artwork. I prefer to either draw things and upload them in on paper. But Kate's really gifted at using things like Procreate, Photoshop to draw things. But even if you just want to do like Sam, your children's artwork, scan that in, pop them on, or you want to use the text tool, or like me, you go into Canva and cheat a bit and use kind of preloaded designs and just tweak them a little bit. All sorts of stages can use these, and that's what makes them so brilliant. And as I said, when they arrive, they are so vibrant. So here's another example of some flowers. The detail is incredible. So again, if you were using HTV, this would be a million layers, and you wouldn't really get the same kind of texture. Like when it's applied, it's almost like Happy Flex, so it will sit smooth to the fabric. But I mean, like you can actually see the texture of the design. So it looks like it's been painted, which is really cool. And then this carrier sheet that's over the top is kind of translucent. So once that comes off, it's even more HD looking, which is just incredible. So moving on from this, the next step will obviously be to buy the transfers. So once you order them, you've got about 2 days before they arrive. Sometimes they're even quicker than that. So not long at all after you've ordered them. And then they arrive. Let me stop sharing my screen so that you can see better. They arrive looking like this if it's the 55 by 55. So I don't know how well you see that. So all the designs are on there. They'll be rolled backwards. So similar to HTV, they have a heat applying kind of adhesive on the back. So if you look at that, that is what they look like at the back. That is what it looks like at the front. So it's quite clear what side needs to go downwards on the garment. And as I said, you'd apply exactly the same as HTV really. You just want to put it under an iron or a heat press. You want to pre-press your garment, which basically just means give it an iron or a press just to get any creases or moisture out of the fabric. I would definitely advise using a lint roller as well for clothing, just to make sure. If, like me, you've got cats or dogs, there's definitely a chance there'll be some sort of little fibres in there that might get caught under the transfer. So once you've done that, you then pop your transfer on the top, and then I like to cover with grease-proof paper just to protect everything, and then press for 12 seconds at 145 degrees, which if you're using an iron is the 2-dot setting with no steam. So these are just some examples of transfers that we've applied recently. So this one was really fun. This is an edited photo using Canva. So these two lovely people, or victims of my design tool, are Rachel from our office and her partner, who are getting married soon. And then I've also overlapped some text on there as well. So it's a really badly photoshopped picture, which is quite fun for a bridal party. And then on the back as well, I've got another example. So this is a really, really fun effect that you can get with the text. So again, very, very hard to achieve with HTV, if at all. And this required no weeding. It all went on as one. It's so easy to do. Once you start doing it, you're not going to want to go back. And then we've also got here. So this is actually a photo of a Happy Press 4 that I've popped onto a t-shirt. You can't quite see the quality through this camera, but it is incredible. So I've put some splashes at the back. Again, could not do this with HTV. It went down in just 12 seconds and it is really on there. So they last over 70 washes, which is the lifetime of the garment. And they're just such good quality. Like, this has been washed a few times now and it is still absolutely perfectly intact. So you can apply these to anything that will take 145 degrees of heat. So tote bags, shoes if you want, t-shirts, all sorts of things, even wood. So they're very exciting. So now I'm going to move on, now that we've covered what heat transfers are, what kind of things you can apply them on, how to apply them, how to design and order them. Let's move on to some questions. So let me just have a little look at the comment section. So let's go for what file types can I use? So you can use lots of different file types. We've also got, let me share my screen with you again. We'll go back to, okay. So if we go back to the home page. So you've got on here, you've got a lovely instructional video with Marnie just showing how the heat transfers actually apply. So definitely give that a watch to see the whole process. You can see there how big the 55 by 55 sheet is. So we go to the, no, we want the artwork guide, I think. Yes, perfect. So this is an absolute Bible of heat transfers and what you need to do to upload them. So all of these are compatible file types. So you've got EPS, PNG, JPG, and PDF. So this tells you how to save the artwork, like depending on what program you're using. And there's a little bit about image properties, getting visual and copyright permission. So definitely give that a read through if you're unsure what file types you need, or you can always message us as well and we'll let you know. So we've also got on here, if I order today, when would I get these transfers? So they come within a couple of days. So not long at all from designing them, ordering them, to actually receiving them and being able to apply them. So we've also got, how can I have different logos on a sheet? So yep, you absolutely can. So if I go back to the design tool, you can add as many different things as you like. So if you wanted multiple logos, or if you wanted multiple different types of artwork on there, you can always add those as well. So like I said, you can squeeze as many of them as you like onto one sheet and it does not affect the price at all. And what else have we got? So what's better, this or HTV? So if I stop sharing my screen quickly. So there are some differences between these and HTV. They apply pretty much the same. So 145 degrees these apply at, whereas the HTV can vary between 150 degrees and 165, depending on your type of vinyl. The main things I would say is if you're looking to do a photograph or multiple colors or layers on a design, it's so much easier to use transfers. Although if you're looking to add texture, so glitter, something like that, then HTV might be your best answer. There's also the fact that you don't need to do any weeding with these. So if you hate weeding, or if you've not got a cutting machine, then you need less tools to use heat transfers because we send them to you ready to go. So hopefully that helps explain that one. We still love HTV, don't worry, we've got over 300 colours, lots of different finishes to choose from if that's your preferred method of heat printing. So how do you fuse these transfers? So the short answer is you can use an iron or a heat press, again 145 degrees for 12 seconds, so not long at all. It's very similar to the process of HTV, but you can find lots of different demos of us fusing heat transfers on our YouTube. You can also email us if you're unsure. Every sheet of transfers that we send out does come with printing instructions attached as well. So, okay, I think that is all of our questions for today. So I hope everybody has learned about the heat transfers today and I've answered everybody's burning questions. But like I said, if you do want to get in touch, if you've got a question, if you've ordered them and you want some more advice on how to apply them, if you want to know more about different products and what would work best for you, 100% get in touch. You can message us on social media Monday to Thursday, or you can email us sales@happyfabric.co.uk any day of the week, Monday to Friday, and we'll get back to you. So thank you again for joining our live. The website to have a look further at the transfers is happyfabrictransfers.co.uk, and we will see you soon.